Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna
All right, welcome back to another episode. All right, so I'm going to give you an update on where I am with my progress on this muscle building recomposition journey. Tell you some of the things that were successful and some of the things that weren't. It's been a while. First, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. As you know, all of my videos and all of my channels are, not behind a paywall. They're all absolutely free. There's no memberships or any of that stuff, and I'd love to continue to do that. In order to do that, the channel has to grow. So I'm asking that you please hit that subscribe button right now and subscribe to the channel and click the bell. You get notified every time we have a new video, whenever that is, and that will help me make sure that we can continue to do this absolutely free. All right, so here's where we are. If you look on the screen here, I've got results from a bunch of different videos we did. First, there's December 7th, 2023. It shows my body fat of 33.1%. Horrible. The fat mass, it takes my weight and it breaks it up. And my weight was 57.9 pounds of fat. And then it was 112.5 pounds of muscle. So my body fat percent rank was at risk for, I guess, heart disease. I don't know. Like I don't have any cholesterol because I'm a vegan, so I don't know what I'm at risk for. And lower body fat than 20% of your peers. That means 80% of my peers had better body fat than me. And it goes through the months as it goes through the year here in 2024, and the numbers all start dropping. Then you get to May 21st, and it's looking pretty good. And then there's nothing for June, July, or August because I would have got my next scan at the early July, but I was just in the middle of all of this stuff over the summer that I had to do. I did a week of training at Grand Canyon University. I was in Atlanta for a week with the students. I was in Tucson for a week at a conference. I was working with the Department of Education in Arizona to create the standards for network security for the students that we teach. It was just one thing after another. The summer was just so busy for me. It was absolutely crazy. So I couldn't wait to get back to work at the end of July, early August, and then start hitting my routine again. So I waited a month, and here we are a month later, September 2nd, I went and got a scan. And as you can see here, my last body fat was 26.5 and now 25.9. Is that a big drop? Not at all. But the summer was just horrible, right? So considering I'm back at work for a month, that's what I got. So I'm pretty excited about that I actually am still moving forward. My fat mass, the mass of fat on my body, went from 43.2 pounds to 41.9 pounds. I lost a pound of fat during that time, and I'll tell you about that time in a moment. And then my lean body mass, the muscle, I didn't lose any muscle. I went from 115.1 pounds to 115.3. So my muscle, I was able to keep that without losing any. Now my body fat rank is average, which, it's not saying much since the average person is, not in great shape to start with. And my comparison rank is that I have lower body fat than 50% of my peers of my age or weight range. And, that's normal. And again, not something to strive for. So, all of this shows me that even though I had, I told you what I did during the summer. Here's how food went. I had protein bars and a little USB protein blender mixer in a hotel room with me every time I went on one of the conferences. But there was, happy hour and teacher meals and all this stuff. And everyone's meeting for food. And while I was able to find vegan food everywhere I went, it wasn't anything pretty, right? So, and you just kind of have to socialize. And during the summer, you're not on your routine. Because I'm a teacher, I'm off in the summer. After all that, I don't consider myself off. But I'm not on my routine during the summer, right? So it's so easy to just make one bad meal, a bad day, a bad week, and a bad month. I tried not to do that. I tried to just stay focused and if I was going to crash and burn, at least, don't take down the rest of the week with me. So I did have my supplements the whole time. I did have my protein mix the whole time. I did have protein bars with me. I had all that stuff along with all the bad food that I had. So, that mixed with coming back on in August, back to my routine and waiting a month shows that my numbers are really still moving forward. So really no harm, no foul, other than, I spent 3 months and all I really got is a little bit of an increase. But had I done a scan in the middle of that 3 months, it probably would have been like pretty bad. So that's kind of the summary right there. So now we'll move on to my profile. December 7th, 2023, you can see what my profile looked like. My belly looks like I just swallowed like a beer barrel. Like, it just looks horrible. Look how thick and fat my legs are. You can barely see my calves because my knees are just so fat. Like, I don't know how I carried all that extra weight around. And then as we move down, right, throughout the months, we get to, this week, and I am like a fraction of the person I was. I'm so much smaller. And we're only talking about 15 pounds. As far as weight, I've only lost 15 pounds. But it's 15 pounds of fat that came off, and I built muscle during that. So that's the other thing, right? Like, you can't look at the weight because I built like 3 to 4 to 5 pounds of muscle while I lost that. So I would be down another, had I not gained any more muscle, I'd be down another 5 pounds. But I'm glad I did gain the muscle because I'd like to build muscle while I'm losing fat. So I am a fraction of the person I used to be, and these pictures are just kind of a representation of that, actually. So it's kind of cool to see. Next, we have a visual representation of the fat and all that stuff. So the pie, the blue piece of the pie, that's the fat. That's the part of my body that's fat. And you can see it's 33.1% in the first picture from December 7th, 2023. And as you go through the months to, this past week, it's down to 25.9. The piece of the pie that's fat, it gets smaller every single time I do a scan. And that's kind of the goal, just to keep moving forward. So I'm pretty happy there. And then finally, the visual representation of my rank compared to others. In December 2023, we had an at-risk of 33.1 right here, right, compared to where I should normally be. And then I was, high body fat percentage compared with others. And as we go down through the months, right, today, I'm in the average range, 21 to 27% body fat, because I'm like 25. And if I get to 20% body fat, I'll be fit, that's the goal. My goal is 15% body fat, but to get into that fit range. And then compared with others, I'm in the normal range, which again isn't saying much because the normal person is, not in great shape. So, that's where I am as far as numbers. I know it probably doesn't look like that great of an increase over 3 months, but considering I went through, I'm just happy that being back on track for 1 month has put me back on track. So, it just goes to show, like, if you fall, just get up and keep going. You're not starting over. You're just picking up where you left off, right? You got to have progress over perfection. You can't, worry that it wasn't perfect. It's over. I'm done. I can't do this. You just have to pick up and go, okay, I had a little fall. I'm just going to keep moving on. Progress over perfection. And that's kind of what I keep telling myself. Now, the weight thing is interesting because I want to put something on the screen up here. This is a graphical representation of fat versus muscle. On the left, you see 5 pounds of muscle, right? It's streamlined. It's very kind of, compact and pressed together and dense and heavy. Then right next to it, you have 5 pounds of fat. And here's kind of one of the most horrible things that we have to live with. That 5 pounds of fat is so much bigger, or it takes up so much more room than the 5 pounds of muscle. So, to gain, first of all, to gain muscle is really hard. You have to work hard to gain it. So, in a month, I could easily gain probably 5 pounds of fat, but I'll be lucky to gain 1 pound of muscle working out. It's just really hard. So, it's just horrible that that a pound of fat or 5 pounds of fat takes so much space up on your body, whereas 5 pounds of muscle takes so much less space up on your body. But that's just the reality. The volume and the mass of fat is so much more than the volume and the mass of muscle, and it's just one of life's curses, right? It's just something we have to recognize and deal with. So losing weight is really tough when you're building muscle. Am I more muscular? I absolutely am, right? There's no doubt about it. My traps are sticking out. I've got muscle tone, right? Look at that. There's no doubt about it. I'm more muscular, right? But getting the fat off is so hard. It is recompositioning, but it's not easy. And it's a very, very slow process. I've been at this for almost a year. But, we're seeing results. I'm seeing less body fat and more muscle and a reduction of weight. So it's just, you know, a slow process I'm just going to have to do. I'm not one of these people that can drop everything, drop all my weight in a year and look completely different. I want the muscle also. So, you know, I have to just follow this through until you know, it gets to where I'm going. Don't forget, if you're on Cronometer, you can add me as a friend, plantbaseddads@gmail.com. And if we do that, then we can share recipes, which means if you make one of my recipes, then you can add it to your diary every day or whatever day you eat it, and it'll add my macros to your diary. So you don't have to figure out how many calories it was and how many, it'll show up in your macros. If you are not using the paid version, you're using the free version, then email me at plantbaseddads@gmail.com with your email address for Cronometer, and I'll add you on my sign as a friend, because I can add anyone as a friend, and then we can still share my macros for my recipes. All right, so that's kind of where I am with this. I'm back on track. I am back at work. I am going to Japan in September 27th through like October 3rd or something. October 6th, I think. It's during fall break. The school is doing a STEM trip for the kids, and they need 2 teachers, and the kids asked if I could go. And it's cool because, I mean, I don't have money to go to Japan, but it's all paid for. Parents take care of it in their, you know, when they pay for the kids, the part of that is paying for the chaperone to go too. So that's awesome. I just had to pay my background check, which I think was like $100, and that was it. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know anything about Japan, and I've learned a few phrases. One of them is tofu aramasu, which means, do you have any tofu? So I'm trying to like learn phrases I might need when I'm ordering or I need to use a restroom or something that might help me. So if you know any quick ways to learn some Japanese in like 2 weeks just to get around, let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to hear it. All right, that's my video for today. I'm still on track. I'm still moving forward. I know it's been a while since we had a video because the summer's just been here, but I'm back up, and I'm going to keep going. Are you doing this also? Did you fall? Get back up. Let me know below. I'll help you. Get back up. Are you and I doing this together? Let me know. I'm so much stronger when I'm doing this with you. Remember, my videos are not behind a paywall. They're absolutely free, so please subscribe to the channel. So click that subscribe button, click that bell. You get notified every time we have a new video. And leave a comment below. Tell me about your story. Tell me what you're doing. I'd love to hear from you. All right, until the next video, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.